Hi guys, I'm Sue. I'm a stay-at-home lesbian femme, wife-to-be, and I'm engaged to a pilot. And today I'm gonna show you behind the scenes of our life. Most of my life is staying at home and working while my fiance is out flying the airplanes. Today, you're actually going to see her flying an airplane in the cockpit. We've never shown it before on this series. We have a whole series, so if you want to watch all the series of our life about a stay-at-home femme dating a student pilot, make sure to check out this playlist. But like I'm going to tell you, this is the first video where Ash is going to show herself finally flying an airplane, so you know she's not bullshit, guys. Today's a special day because today's her first cross-country solo commercial. If you're not a pilot, you don't know what this means, because I barely know what it means. So if I say something's wrong, forgive me. I'm not a pilot, I'm just dating one. Relax. So what was I gonna say? She is doing her first cross-country solo in her commercial rating, which is going to be, I think it's at least 5 hours long. So that's scary if you ask me. So I hope you enjoy this vlog and let's get started.
It's so foggy and hazy over there. Hopefully that goes away. I called the weather briefer, which is basically these meteorologists that you can call, and they'll give you an update on what the weather is like and what it's going to look like in the future. So I called them last night, found out that there is a low pressure system moving through northern Arizona, southern Utah, which means that the weather's bad. So I got a whole new flight plan all scheduled for Boise, Idaho, which is a much more in-depth flight plan. I'm flying into a Class Charlie airspace, which is the larger airspace, and I have to fly through Class Bravo airspace, basically right over Salt Lake International, and that's really very congested and crazy airspace that you're not allowed to enter unless you get permission, and then you have to do these transition route things, which is what I'm gonna have to do, and I'm gonna do it by myself. This is only my second time going into the Bravo, and the first time was so unbelievably stressful and they talk so fast. This time I think I'm gonna make it clear that I'm solo, and this is my first time. I'm a little nervous, for sure, a little more nervous than I was before. Well, I don't know, I feel a little more at peace, to be honest. I think I'm at this point where I'm like, you know what, actually, as more stressful as this may be, I think I'm gonna be even more proud of myself that I did this. So let's go get totally prepped with our weather, weight and balance, performance, and writing down all the airports along my route. Let's go.
If you're new to our channel, the reason why I'm taking all these multivitamins is because Ash and I are trying to make a baby. We went to Mexico to do our first IVF appointment. We have a whole vlog about it. Feel free to watch it. But long story short, the doctor has recommended that before we do the extractions, that we need to dose up on fish oil, vitamin D, and so on and so forth. So every morning, 3 times a day, I have to take those pills. I know it's crazy. I'm not used to taking pills. I've never taken pills in my life, but for our future baby, I would literally do anything.
Schedule, so I can't get too much of this. Looks terrible. I can't get too much footage of me getting the plane prepped. I kind of went through that quickly, didn't have time to sit and like set up my camera, especially since I don't even have a camera stand because Sue took it. This lighting is absolutely awful anyway. But let's get going. Are you confused at what to do in the bedroom?
Or do you miss our viral kissing challenges?
Either way, have we got the place for you, our Patreon.
Our Patreon will give you confidence in the bedroom.
And we post kissing challenges every other week. So if you're interested, head on over to Patreon. We post every Sunday.
Gotta have my Celsius. I actually never drink this, so please don't assume I'm an energy drinker. But Ash really wanted it this morning, so she got me one. I have the worst experiences with accountants. Well, I had one good accountant, and after that, my accountant life has been horrible. I just got off the phone and I learned that I should be paying, I don't even know the right terminology, $800 every year. I think it's called the Franchise Tax Board. My accountant never told me about it. So I just paid a little over $4,000 for the Franchise Tax Board because my accountant never told me. And it cost so much because of all the late fees that have been stacking up for years, guys, for years. Right now I'm filling up some paperwork that the guy that I talked to on the phone call told me to fill out for my tax year 2025. Yeah, so this is what I get to do today, or else I will have a lead. Ash is having a good flight. When she is up in the air, I get so scared because I'm personally scared of flights in general. And it makes me nervous because of my own personal fears. And sometimes I would look at her location and I just get more scared because it shows she's in the middle of the ocean, or worse, in the middle of a mountain in the middle of nowhere. And I panic and just basically hope for the best. I'm gonna show you exactly what I see and why it's so scary. This is what I see. I think it's valid to freak out. I don't know how pilot wives do it, but I'm learning.
Jackson jet service. There's my little plane. I don't know how well you can hear me with the wind, but yeah, they're 100 low lead truck for fueling, which is the kind of 100 low lead is the kind of fuel that I need. It's broken, so I need to go fuel up myself, which I haven't done before, so it'll be a good little practice learning experience.
In order for me to calm down and not stay nervous, I'm just gonna start blabbing to you guys, so I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna talk about how funny Ash thinks that this whole series is, the stay-at-home femme dating a student pilot. And she thinks it's hilarious because when most people hear stay-at-home anything, you think of someone that just stays at home and does nothing. When I'm doing everything basically at home, I'm working. I'm a stay-at-home work femme. A stay-at-home workie. I think that's the better terminology for what I am. Because of where we're at right now and how much we prioritize Ash's school, I have taken most, not all, most of the financial responsibility when it comes to paying our bills and paying the school. And that's just what I take on, and I choose to take it on. And when I'm at home, I'm working, I'm making TikToks, I'm making videos. If I'm not making videos, I'm editing the videos. And by me taking on this role, it gives Ash the space to really focus on school and pass, because not passing is very expensive, and not doing your flights correctly and learning is very expensive. The longer you take to learn, the more expensive it costs. So I really want Ash to excel in her current student pilot journey and have the least amount of stress possible. Going to flight school is enough stress, and having to worry about finances, I don't even know how most flight students do it. I honestly, bless their hearts, I know a lot of flight students that aren't financially literate just out of ignorance, and it scares me for them. It scares me that they don't know what their debt actually is. It scares me that they don't know what reoccurring accruing interest looks like. It scares me that they don't even know what a principal payment is versus an interest payment is. And maybe it's something that I will take on in future vlogs. So with all that knowing that I have about just debt, the priority is for me to make money. Ash focuses on school, and we focus on paying this expensive bill off. So that's our dynamic. Everybody works differently, and this is something that works for both Ash and I, and it's perfect. So let's see what Ash is doing.
Okay, so my 5-hour, it was supposed to be 5-hour solo cross country, ended up being like the whole day. So originally I was supposed to go down south. I ended up changing to going north to Boise, which I originally didn't want to do because it was longer than the other ones. So you only need to do 250 nautical miles each way. Boise's 300 nautical miles each way. So I already knew it was inherently going to add like potentially another hour. But I'm really grateful that I got that experience because I got to transition through the Bravo airspace. So Bravo airspace is basically the biggest airspace in the US. And Bravo airspace, you have to be basically invited into it, like cleared into it. And then they're basically holding your hand while you're in it to get you through and around all these like major airliners that are coming into land. I just followed the rest of my flight plan. It was pretty simple. The annoying thing is that I had like a 35 to 40 knot headwind the entire time, which means that I was much slower and it took me longer to get to Boise. When I was coming in to Boise, I was a little nervous because it's a bigger airport than my airport. It's a class Charlie, which is kind of in between my airport and the Bravo, like Salt Lake airport. And then they had me do the exact same transition that that helicopter did that just crashed into the American flight, which also happened while I was on this flight, for the record. When I got home, everybody was talking about it. Like, they had literally just crashed while I was on my flight. And Salt Lake had me do the exact same transition that that helicopter was doing, basically, except for I was a little higher. So basically, they have you follow the freeway right across the runway thresholds of like where planes are coming into land at Salt Lake. And I'm just at 1,000 feet AGL above the ground, this little fly, and I look to my right and there's like 6 major airliners just coming in towards me, towards these runways. And I was like, oh, very surreal. But that's basically what happened with the helicopter, is they were on a similar approach like that over the runway thresholds. They were supposed to be at 200 feet, but they were at 400 or something, or 300 or something like that. So their altitude was off. And they basically were told like, oh, there's this plane coming in, like look for traffic, it's all visual separation. Mine was all visual separation too. And they saw one that was coming in for a different runway and thought that that was the traffic. And that's so common with aviation, where you think you see the traffic and you don't realize that it's the wrong traffic. So yeah, I had a lot more empathy for that whole situation that happened after doing that transition. Once I was past the runways, everything was good. It was very beautiful. Like they had me flying literally 1,000 feet above the ground to stay below the Bravo airspace. And I love flying low above the city lights. I think it is absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorite things to do at night. So yeah, it was a long one, but I learned so much. I had such a good time, and genuinely, like everybody had told me before, I actually felt like a real pilot after that. I was like, I need to go buy a plane. This is so fun, so amazing. Like I'm literally just flying right now. I felt just so present and in the moment. It was crazy. So yeah, that was my experience. Hope you liked all of the details. Ciao, ciao.